Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Breathe Motivation. It is Monday. I know it's kind of a crazy day because I know I've been releasing on like Wednesday or Friday. So, surprise, it's Monday and it's an episode of Breathe Motivation. My name's Anthony Hester. I'm the host for this show. So glad to join you today. I wanted to start off the week right. It's funny. I had a kind of, a couple of people asked me this last week, and I thought it was kind of interesting. So I thought this would be a great topic, but a lot of people asked me why, hey, Anthony, why are you always so happy? And I was like, I don't know why I'm always so happy or why I come across always so happy, because I'm not always happy, but I thought it was a great thing. My goal is to always have a great day, or even just a great week, right? I want to have the best day or the best week ever. So that's going to be the topic for today. So I hope you guys have a great start to your week and you guys are going to have the best week ever. But I wanted to give you guys some tips on how to have a great week, right? You've got to have this mindset that you are going to have a positive week. Because if you don't, guess what? Things aren't going to go very well for you, right? So let's start off with the definition. The definition is best. So that's of the most excellent, effective, or desirable type or quality, right? So we've got to be able to have, the intention to have the best day or the best week ever, right? I think that is very important, right? When I look at life and when I look at, just living, right? We've got to be able to live the best we can live, right? I say right a lot, right? No, but I like to be goofy, right? That's part of me having a great week, having a great day. I love being goofy. I love having fun. I love, just doing great things, just making people smile. That's always a good thing, right? I always want to be able to make one person smile at least throughout the day. Or have a great joke, right? I don't know any really good jokes, but sometimes, I come across or I do something a little weird and people laugh. So if they're laughing at me or laughing with me, that's great, right? But that's how you live to have a great week or a great day. You look for that. You live with intention of having a great week. And that's the most important thing that you could do is living life with intention. We always talk about this, and I might cover this later on this week if I do another episode. I might surprise you with a double episode this week, right? That might be pretty good. But just autopilot, right? A lot of people wake up every day not knowing what their game plan is, and then they kind of just sit back and kind of wait for life to happen. But when you start to live life with intention, you start to see more action taken towards success. And then you start to find success throughout the week and throughout the month and throughout the days, and things just start to look brighter. A lot of people kind of joke with me and say that, I kind of look at life a little bit funny. And I'm like, what do you mean? And, people are like, you just always find the good in people. And you always are looking at the good in people. And they're like, you could be very susceptible to, people that are scammers or, people that are kind of, just, maybe are just bad people. And I'm like, it's interesting to see that because there's two different perspectives on how we can look at life. I can look at positives in people. I can look at negatives. And when I start to look for negatives, I in turn start to feel negative and start to turn negative. So there's a couple of different ways that you can live life. And I like to live life on the positive side. I like to, sometimes put on those rose-colored glasses and see that the world is a great place. But that's all in how life is meant to be, is you decide whether life is going to be positive or you're going to surround yourself with people that are negative, and then, like a victim mentality or, people that are going to be successful. That's how I look at it. I want to surround myself with successful people that are excited for life. Right? Because if you find yourself around people like that, it's contagious. It's the same thing when, you surround yourself with happy people that are naturally happy, you start to feel happy inside as well. So that's one of the great things that I enjoy doing. I love to be, around happy people, and I love to spread happiness. So it's a great combination, right? So, let me give you some tips. Here's some tips on how you can have the best week ever, right? So here's tip number 1. Begin the day with gratefulness. It is truly amazing to really think about how big this world is, right? I was researching and I was wondering, it's kind of, I don't know if it's kind of, I guess kind of morbid to even think about this, but, I really want to be grateful for the life I have to live. It's crazy to think about this, but nearly 2 people die each second of the day. And to be able to have the life that you live and be able to live and have the chance to live the life that you want to live each day, you shouldn't take for granted, right? That's something that I'm thankful for, is just to wake up and live another day, to live the best life I can live for myself and for my family and my friends and, whoever I can impact, right? You've got to be thankful for that. Be thankful for another day. 2 people die every second, which is an insane number, right? It's crazy to think about that. But when you really think to that and see the amount of people that pass away each day, it is really, it's flabbergasting. It's so, to me, I was like, it was eye opening, right? And that's one of my biggest fears is like death, because I'm like so scared. And that's what caused my anxiety. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like thinking about it, but that was really kind of eye opening and humbling for me, to really know that number, because that gave me another reason to be thankful. I have tons of reason to be thankful, but that really put in perspective how quickly life goes by. So that's something that I do. Each day, write 2 to 3 things down. And even if you don't want to write 2 to 3 things down in the morning, 2 to 3 things that you're grateful for and why. It puts things into a positive perspective. You start your day from a positive perspective. You start to see things in a great level from that level. It creates momentum for you. So if you start thinking about positive things and grateful things, things you're grateful for in the day, that's when you start to really, embrace the day. You embrace your challenges of the day. There's opportunities each day for you to get better, and that's where you've got to go. And then give yourself time to get ready. I think a lot of people underestimate this, right? A lot of you guys are waking up right at the alarm clock, right? The alarm clock is like set for like maybe 10, 15 minutes before you have to leave the house, or 30 minutes or whatever that looks like. And you rush. And a lot of you guys are in a rush in the morning. I like to set my alarm clock to 1. I'm not a big snooze fan. A lot of the times when my alarm clock goes off, my feet hit the ground and I go, right? That's just how I'm wired. If I don't get out of bed, I'm going to lay there for another 15, 20 minutes, right? And then it kind of pushes my schedule back. But I want to be excited to get up. And when that alarm clock hits, my feet hit the ground and, I start to do, start to make breakfast. I start to, do the things that I just told you about, write 2 to 3 things of why I'm grateful. And I really think about those. I take some time to think about that. 10 minutes, right? That's all it takes in the mornings, 10 minutes. But I want to be able to start my day off right. So if you can start off your day positively, then it's very easy for the rest of your day to go. You start to gain this momentum, right? The momentum is a very positive thing. It's the same thing, when negative things start happening, you start paying a lot of attention to it. You can easily gain negative momentum. So you've got to be really careful about what crosses your mind and how much time you spend on something that's negative, or the things that aren't going to benefit you in the day, right? Because that's what happens. You get stuck in traffic, you're angry, somebody cut you off, and you spend your whole trip going to work. Like, the average commute's like 23 minutes, right? And you spend 23 minutes being so frustrated about one car that, cut you off. It's frustrating. I've been there. I'm same way, right? And that happens to me every once in a while, but I have to catch myself and say, hey, is this really going to, am I going to let this one guy or this one person, really ruin my day? Right? Ask yourself that question next time, because that's what I end up doing. I'm like, man, I really gave a lot of attention to that, and I just don't feel good energy wise, right? So I got to start thinking about positives. So if somebody cuts me off, great. Hey, they cut me off. Okay, great. I'm going to tune in. I'm going to jam to my music, right? I'm going to have a good time, listen to something positive, motivating, whatever that looks like, right? So just have fun. Right? That's the next tip. Have fun. I like to perform in my car. I don't just sing in my car. I perform. I'm singing. I'm dancing. I'm hitting all the high notes. That's one of my favorite things to do because it's just fun. Right? A lot of people are like, oh man, I can't believe you hit those high notes, because they feel like I have such a deep voice. But I love hitting those high notes. Right? It's so much fun. Right? I perform, right? I don't care who's looking at me. I've had people laughing in the car next to me, but hey, guess what? Got them laughing, right? I don't care if you're laughing with me or laughing at me. At least we're having fun. And people love to have fun, right? So sing in the car, perform in the car, dance in the car. Obviously be safe, Don't be texting and driving, right? Don't be doing any of that crazy stuff. But listen to something funny, right? Listen to some comedians. You can get on YouTube and hear anything. It's really, truly cool to be able to laugh on the way to work. Laughing is great exercise, right? It helps me to, work off some of these pounds that I'm trying to work off of, right? Think positive thoughts. I like to listen to motivational speakers in the morning. I like to listen to Eric Thomas. I like to listen to Les Brown, Anthony Robbins, whoever that looks like and whatever that looks like. I love listening to those motivational videos on here. I listen to my own podcasts every once in a while. I listen to different podcasts to get some motivation, right? Because that's going to help me keep positive thoughts. And that's the goal, right? That's the most important thing you can do. Next tip is going to do something for yourself. Read, write, go see a movie by yourself. I think a lot of people really kind of don't understand how great alone time can be with yourself. It gives you time to really kind of, digest your feelings, digest what you're wanting to do. You just get to just be one with yourself. You got to be your own best friend. And I think that's important that we, lose focus on that sometimes. We've got to be good with ourselves in order for us to be good for other people. Let me repeat that. We got to be good with ourselves to be good for other people. So if you're not good with yourself, it's going to be very tough to be the best person you can be for others, your family, your friends, your coworkers, whoever needs you, right? You've got to be able to be in tune with yourself. So go do something for you. Go do something that you enjoy doing. Go on a joyride. I love that. And I was talking to my brother about this, a week or two ago. That was something that I, when I was in Arizona, when I first got my license, or, even a couple of years after getting my license, I used to just go drive. I'd just go drive and see where the world took me, right? Where the road took me. I in Arizona, you've got Loop 101, so it goes around all of Arizona. I think it ties to Loop 202. So I went all the way around there one night with a buddy, and we were just jamming, listening to music, having a good time, laughing. And, it took us a couple hours, but it was just fun. So everybody, every once in a while, it's just good to go do something. Go do something for yourself every day, whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hit the gym, whatever that looks like, whatever you enjoy that's fun, go do it, right? Next, enjoy the small successes, right? I think that's something that a lot of people fail to look at. You've got to enjoy the small successes. So if you had something great happen at work, enjoy it, relish in it for a minute or two. I think a lot of us will beat ourselves up. I'm the worst at it. I'll raise my hand right now. How many of you guys spend so much time worrying about all these small things that really aren't going to matter in the long run, but you beat yourself up, right? You've got to be able to enjoy the successes of your day. Enjoy that positivity. Start to look at great things that are happening around you. So if you make a sale, man, give yourself a pat on the back, right? Or, you made somebody smile. Hey, let's relish in that together, right? Create the momentum. That momentum is going to carry you across the day, right? So our goal is to create a great Monday. So that leads into a great Tuesday, and then it starts to build and build and build, and you have this momentum for the best week ever, right? Next, one of the great tips, I love doing this too, is talk about what matters most. What inspires you? What are you passionate about? What are your thoughts? What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your focuses? I love having conversations with people to find out what they want, what's the best thing for them, what are their goals, what are their intentions, and having a conversation, a dialogue back and forth, and being able to talk about what we're passionate about. It's funny to see that when you get to those conversations, you start to really see all these things happening around you, and you start to see that, hey, I have this in common with these people, and I have this in common with this person, and it's very interesting to see overall how that works out for you. So it's great. You get to learn more about people, being around people and being able to see from a different perspective. If you're able to talk about something you're passionate about, and guess what, this other person's passionate about, now you've got a buddy to be able to talk about that, right? And really stay focused on that. They're going to hold you accountable, right? We get an accountability buddy out of it, whatever that looks like, right? You get to express your passions. You get to express your desires of what you want to accomplish. And as you start to talk about it, you start to feel more positive about what you're doing. And then you start working on those things, building that website, getting a new job, getting, married, whatever those goals are that look like, whatever they look like, you start to talk about them. They start to feel good, and you start to envision that. And as you start to envision your life being better, guess what? Momentum Right? That's the idea behind this episode today is momentum. Have positive momentum to be able to carry you throughout the week, to have the best week ever, the best day ever. Each day that you collectively have the best day ever, guess what? It's going to be the best week, the best month, the best year. And it sounds crazy, but it can happen. It's just all in how you focus your life and focus your mind on positive or negative. Whichever one you're going to feed is what you're going to get the most back. So if you focus on the positives, positive things will happen and continue to happen for you. And that's what you've got to do. So just do that. Enjoy life. Have fun. Live each day with intention. Enjoy the small successes. Begin the day with gratefulness and talk about what matters most, what inspires you, and you'll have the best week ever. So I'm glad to join you on this Monday. I hope you guys had a great one. I hope you guys have a great week and you have the best week ever. So go out there and do that. And I might surprise you with another episode this week. I don't know. That's how I'm kind of feeling right now. So I hope you guys have a great one. Let me leave you this quote. Be happy, not because everything is perfect, but because you chose to focus on the perfect moments. So enjoy the perfect week. Enjoy the best week that you can have, right? Each day, just enjoy the day, live in the moment, live in the present, and you'll be surprised on how great your week can be and how great your day can be. So follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Breathe Motivate. Like my page on Facebook, Breathe Motivation. Go to my website, breathemotivation.com or breathepodcast.com. I've recently updated that. Subscribe so you guys can get all the great stuff. I think I'm going to give a free giveaway on 5 tips on how to start your morning off right. So subscribe and I'll send that to you for free. So awesome. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week. And remember to always breathe motivation and exhale success. And I will see you next time. Thanks.